Welcome to this new video. Until now, the keys to create the tokens were created each time the Spring Authorization server was started. This works fine for development and testing, but not when you want to use the server in production. We are going to solve this today in a first step. We start in Eclipse by going over all the changed and new code. First up are the two keys, the public and private keys. You can create these keys yourself with OpenSSL and the following commands. With these three OpenSSL commands you can create the keys in a format that Spring Boot can handle. We rename the keys and remove the original key. Just storing the private key in the source code of your project is not a good idea, but for this presentation running locally it can be done. You can, for security, store the keys in a HashiCorp vault. We made a video about that. In Application YAML we configure the variables. Pay special attention to the ID here, you will encounter it later when we test the project. In a new class, Keys config, we convert the keys to a format that Spring Boot can use and store them in an in-memory set. The last class we need to go over is security config. The part responsible for keys is removed by making it comment. I also want to briefly go over the Angular code. In the app components TS file, we have a lot of change since the last videos. The buttons, login, logout and user info are unchanged. Furthermore, we have the database data, users data, client data, session data, authorization data, and authorization consent data. The new features are a few endpoints of the Spring Authorization server. JWKS data, info data, and OIDC info data. These endpoints are free and viewable by anyone. In the app component HTML we added a few buttons. We can now launch everything and look at the result. We booted everything up and can now look in a browser window. The bottom three buttons are freely accessible. The JWKS endpoint show the info about the keys. Pay special attention here to the KID, this is the ID we configured in Spring Boot. View info is the freely accessible info about the Spring Authorization server. The OIDC info is the info about OpenID that is freely available. We can log in and see that everything is still working fine. This was it for today. In the coming days we will extend the server further with rotating keys that we store in a database. Thanks for following our channel and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you.